What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Tony Mendoza. And as you can see, we're not in the heart of the Gulch today. We're in 4th and Union at the Fairlane Hotel. My good friend, Garland Smith.
Tony.
How you doing today, man?
Great, buddy. Thank you.
You ready to get this going?
I am.
All right, let's get this thing going. What's going on, y'all? It's your host, Tony Mendoza, and as you saw from the intro, we're here at the Fairlane Hotel with my good friend Garland. How you doing, Garland?
Doing great, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, this is a pop-up episode on our season 3. So first of all, thank you so much for being a part of this.
We're glad you're here.
And like I said, I was telling you earlier, I haven't ever gone out of the studio.
Right.
So it feels a little strange for me because it's like, you know, new terrain and everything, you know?
You got to get back in the mix. We were talking about that. Get your juices flowing again.
Oh, exactly. Now, first of all, as you can see from behind me, there's a lot of green.
A lot of green.
A lot of green, but it's because you guys are promoting, well, what's right next door to us, right? It's going to be the Wizard of Oz, or is it going to be Oz?
It's Wicked, and it's at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center, TPAC. Wonderful group of people, as well as an incredible venue. You know, you and I were talking earlier. We love here at the Fairlane to try to gather around with these amazing people in the community. And try to, you know, piggyback a little bit on these amazing events that are happening in the city. And so here, when we're doing all of our pop-ups, we try to find a great theme and great people to work with, and that's what we found with TPAC.
Well, I love it because, first of all, you guys did an amazing job here at the penthouse. And but before we get into the Fairlane Hotel, I want to get a little bit more about you.
Okay, all right.
All right, so originally from Tennessee?
Yes, I'm East Tennessee guy and born and raised. Went off to school, did a little bit of traveling, and ended up coming back home to Nashville.
Well, I'm sure you noticed that Nashville has changed dramatically.
Yes, it has, and it continues to do so about daily, feels like. But that's another wonderful thing. I think that the staff here, all of us that work really hard to make a great experience for all of the guests, it makes it a lot easier. All the excitement, all the changes, all the new restaurants and hotels and things, it's amazing to watch.
Oh, it's amazing. And not only that, you talk about changing, right? Well, you know, going to the history of this hotel, it wasn't always a hotel.
No, that's right. It was a bank, believe it or not.
I can't believe it. So, I mean, talk to me about how it was, because, so first of all, we're at the Fairlane Hotel. And one thing that I love about this hotel, though, is that there's just so much happening on this street, on 4th Street.
That's right. And it's, you know, we were talking about the changes in Nashville, and you have the overall growth, and then you have different sections of town that you can genuinely watch change on a daily, monthly basis. And where we are here at 4th and Union, it's incredibly that. And so just when you think things are settled, something else is coming into town, or something is being built, or something's being renovated. So it's hard to get complacent when you're in that energy, because you just can't. If you don't, you'll get left behind.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Nashville's known for
that's
that.
Nashville in general, I think. But especially for us here on Boutique Row, it's been an amazing thing to watch.
So I'm curious, since it was a former bank,
right?
Do you guys have a vault?
We don't have a vault. If we did, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, fair.
But secondly, one thing that I love, we have these, and they're kind of the old school or old-timey, they're almost like post office boxes in a section of our lobby that were originally used as bank things. I'm losing what you would call them.
Envelopes.
Well, it's like you got a key and you open it. It's like a post office box.
Oh, I know the name for this. You got me thinking about it now. It is
know the name of those.
Security deposit box.
It's something in that order. I think they used them to put banks' money bags to store and to lock at one point when it was a bank. But I just love the connection of that. You can walk through the lobby and see those boxes, and it really takes you back to probably what the character and the charm of this street and these buildings here. But there's some things in the building itself that are still here that won't let you forget what what this section of Nashville was at one time. Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, you're in the corner of
right.
4th and Union.
Yep.
And what's even more amazing is in the lobby. So going towards like this pop-up experience, I saw on my way walking up there was a yellow brick road.
That's right. That's right.
That was such an ingenious idea.
Yeah. And and that goes to the staff here to talk a bit about the pop-ups. The marketing team, all of the folks in the hotel who work so hard with concept to implementing it to make it look amazing. We couldn't do it without those guys. And it's not easy to do. It's challenging. And it's also challenging to come up with amazing ideas. It's become a thing that is a little popular in Nashville. So now the game's being raised even more. We've got to get out there and find great ideas, make it look amazing, and then get all of the people to come check it out.
Well, talking about how many people are always constantly going, and we're not too far away from Broadway.
That's right.
So you're always having an influx of people walking from parking their cars down the street, going to, like I said, to see Oz.
That's right.
So, talking about how important it is to stay relevant and to keep these bars, because how long does it take to create this masterpiece that I see here?
Yeah, it's again, we have an amazing group of people, and they all pitch in, and it's fun, and they love what they do. So depending on the different pop-ups, it can be anywhere from a few days to maybe a week or so. Again, it turns into kind of a gathering place for all the staff where we hang out and we work and we do these things, but it's fun and we love doing it. And once you go from the beginning to the finished product, it's all worth it.
It feels amazing, right?
It does.
So, speaking about the finished product, because right now we're in the finished product,
Right.
and like I said, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
What are some things that make you guys really proud when you guys create these pop-ups? Because not only was it, prior to your time here, there were plenty of different types of pop-ups.
Absolutely.
But, do you enjoy to watch, customers come in? Have you been here when the customers have come in to take pictures and photographs and everything like that?
Oh, absolutely. And you'll see a lot of us gather here in our opening weekend or the couple of weeks after. I make a point to come up and hang out as often as I can, because the entryway to these spaces, you can stand in certain areas and see these people come in and the look on their face. And there's nothing better, because you see all of the hard work and everything that everyone's done all come together. And it's just fun. It's a great time. The guests love it. The people in the neighborhood love it. The pictures you can take, and also just coming in and having a great time, having some food in this type of environment, in this type of design. It just feels different. It's not your typical location. You feel like you've kind of been whisked off away somewhere. So,
well, not only whisk off away somewhere. So every time that you guys come to this pop-up bar, so this pop-up bar is going to be until when?
We usually go 2-3 months. We want to make sure that we're always innovating and getting on the next amazing idea. We try to stay in the seasonal kind of range, Tony, but again, if one of these people that work on these projects gets an amazing idea, we'll put it in, we'll implement it. So it's really just trying to come up with great ideas, get it out there, let the people come and see it, and then enjoy the hotel while they're here.
Well, this is the Penthouse.
That's right.
And one of the coolest things about this pop-up experience is that you feel like when you walk in here, that at one point, there was someone who, had a lot of money.
That's right.
And they utilized this space here in Nashville.
That's right.
I think about all the musicians that probably use this space.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool because you have the bar right here.
Right.
And that bar was made for just regular folks who were staying the night here.
That's right.
Now you guys turned it into an actual bar where everyone can experience. I mean, how cool is it to be... it was a penthouse, but you guys still call it the Penthouse
That's right.
too.
We call this Penthouse, and then we have the west side and the east side, because the space goes all the way over to cover the roof, basically. I think it's just what you do. It kind of reminds me of Nashville itself. You got to adapt. You've got to grow with the city and all of the other challenges that the city and everyone faced in 2020 and things like that.
Yep.
We just needed a way to think of something to get people to come check it out. And I think important in that discussion is we have our tourists. We have everyone that loves to come to Nashville. But I think we here at the hotel also wanted to put out something for locals. I love the idea of having people in the neighborhood or people who are accustomed to some of the things that maybe tourists are coming to see. What do they want to do? So it was just us trying to brainstorm and get some great ideas of trying to continue to grow and be innovative and get exciting things that people would like to come check out.
And you're absolutely right, because when I think about this pop-up experience, right, you guys do change it out every 3 months or so.
That's right.
And it keeps the locals entertained, and it makes us excited to come in here.
Right, yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do, I talk about this with my girlfriend all the time, is when Halloween comes around, like it is right now. You know, I got my...
It's getting close. That's right.
It's getting super close, Halloween. That's my favorite time of the year.
Me too.
And what's amazing is coming here at the Fairlane Hotel and seeing what's going to be the theme this year.
Right, right.
And you guys, like I said before, you guys knocked it out of the park, but I want to know, you know, why Emerald City?
Okay, so again, we mentioned the collaboration that we're doing with TPAC. So when they let us know that the Wicked performance was coming into town, for all of us, it just seemed like a no-brainer. We just had to be a part of that. And then, like I mentioned also, some of the people, the marketing groups, the public relations people, when they see and hear something like that, the ideas start flying, right? And it gets exciting. And then we all start brainstorming, what can we do? How do we design this? And then it kind of takes off on its own. And you might as well just stand back and let it be what it's going to be with this group, because that's where the passion and the energy is. So I will say that group of people at TPAC and being able to partner with them, we had to do it. We really thought it would be amazing going into the fall, your favorite and my holiday, Halloween. And it just seemed like a brilliant idea. Yeah, and also the ideas. I mean, you can look around here with the green and the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch and things like that. It was just perfect. So it was collaboration with a great group of people at TPAC, and also trying to get something exciting for the guests. And for the locals, yeah.
Speaking of the Wicked Witch, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right behind me, you may be able to see a dark figure in the background. That is the Wicked Witch. And there is another side of it. You guys will see it after the end of this this taping right here. But, you know, I think that area over there, you call it what side of this penthouse?
Well, it's the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch area. I think we've got some great spaces in here that you can find your pictures you want to do and things like that. So we wanted to do a little something for everyone. We've got a mirrored corner over here with the great neon, and so it's amazing to get photographs and stuff like that. But I do want to mention one of my favorite things, too, the terrace here in the penthouse. We also have that at the Ellington's, the restaurant down there. And I'll tell you, I may be a little biased, but the view of this hotel is spectacular.
Oh, let them know that, because so one thing you guys may not know if you haven't, so definitely this Halloween season, this fall season, you guys got to come to the Fairlane Hotel to check this out. Just for this idea alone, this terrace, this corner that we're in right here, probably has one of the best views of the Batman building, which is synonymous with Nashville.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's some great areas too. There's a wonderful spot. You can see the Titan Stadium, Nissan Stadium, which I love. On Sundays, you can stand out here and you can actually hear the crowd and things like that. And this terrace, one of my favorite things to do is look out and all the stuff we were talking about earlier, Tony, with the growth and what's happening with this building and what hotel is coming or what restaurant. You can see a lot of that going on from actually just looking out over the city. And it's one of my favorite things to do. We like to do it after a night of busy hotel or busy restaurant. You can go out there and sit, just take a look around the city. It's got a great energy to it.
Oh, absolutely, and exactly right. The terrace wraps around, and it allows, and that's another thing I want to stress here, because when you guys come to this fine hotel, this boutique hotel, and question is, a boutique hotel, I mean, what qualifies a hotel from just a regular everyday hotel to a boutique hotel?
I think in general, I think it's your size of the hotel. We're a 79-room hotel, but I like to think of that more with being branded that is your desire to take care of the guest individually, to be able to get to know them, to be able to cater to the things that they need. And that was something that's always really appealing to me in the hotel industry. I like the personal way that you can help folks. You can get them in their rooms and have a great time while they're here. You can talk to them about the city and fun things to do. We do a lot of in-house tour guiding, actually, I guess you could call it. If you're just on the elevator with someone, I love to say, what are you guys doing in town? What did you come in to do? And they'll always say, well, what about this and what about that? So it just gives us, with the staff and being able to get a lot of wonderful people into the hotel, it just is a little more personalized, I think.
Exactly, and I guess that's a great way to classify a boutique hotel. It feels more like a family when you walk in.
That's exactly
because you can go to so many. When you drive to a different state, right? There's a bunch of hotels that you drive by, and it is what it is. You go in, you get a good night's sleep, hit the road back on the way. A boutique hotel is one of those hotels that you come to Nashville, the Fairlane Hotel. You come to Nashville, you stay here. It makes an impression.
That's right.
And I think that's the most important thing. And I got to give myself a handful of that because I was surprised how that came out too.
You sound like you work in the hotel business, Tony.
Yeah, Oliver Hospitality. If you guys need me, let me know. Now, okay. So speaking of the uniqueness of the penthouse. So my question is, let's talk a little bit about Halloween since it's right here.
That's right.
So it's your favorite time of the season?
I love it. Always have. It's one of the neatest holidays, I think. I'm fortunate enough to have two wonderful daughters. And so it's honestly can say that they would probably say Halloween's their favorite holiday too. And it's just a great time to do any type of it. It's it. And it cooling off. You're getting into fall here in Middle Tennessee. And what better time to do fun things and exciting? It's already there, and the energy's already there with the holidays. So let's try to connect with that and do something fun at the hotel.
Well, so that brings me to, this street. So 4th Street, it has a couple of boutique hotels here in the street. And I'm always curious because you guys never overlap ideas.
Right.
Is there some kind of collective that you guys go to where you say, hey, this year, do not touch Oz?
For me, I think there's a camaraderie down here with restaurants, with hotels. Now, don't get me wrong, we want to be successful, but we're all here trying to do the same thing. And with a city like Nashville that's growing so much and so many people are come to visit, I think there's a sense, I like to think there's a sense that we're competing together, I guess you could say. But we like to know what everyone's doing. They, I'm sure, like to know what we do and try to find a lane that we can be successful with all of the other restaurants and hotel groups here. You just got to come up with great ideas. You got to have some passion in what you do. And if you have those things, I think you usually fall into a good spot.
You'll be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm just curious because since we're releasing this on Monday, so I'm happy to do that. I'm excited because, it's about that time of the year.
That's right.
Now, how would you suggest, are you familiar with the other locations, the other boutique hotels and their pop-ups going on in the same street?
Well, that's a great question. I think when we locked into what we wanted to do for this particular season, we just kind of ran with it. But I think there are a couple of hotels that are doing similar fall things. You're going to have to want to be around Halloween and maybe going into Thanksgiving and the weather and all of that. I did see, I think someone is doing something with the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory,
The
maybe?
Holtzen House, I believe,
And but I think the idea for us here specifically is when you get that idea, when it's talking and all of the meetings and the discussions, and you land on it, and then the ideas start to come, then it is just go. You just lock it in, you start getting prepared, and then try to make the space what you envisioned it to be.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah, you want to be aware of what's going around, especially on the block, but you also want to find your thing and then put everything you got into it.
And it's apparent when you walk into every time the Fairlane Hotel does something, you guys do it to the utmost. I mean, I remember in fall last year there was a bunch of leaves everywhere, and it was incredible. But when I think about me and my group of friends, and we're locals, so we don't go to Broadway very often anymore. So we actually need a reason to come into downtown.
That's right.
And this is our reason every fall season. Now, I'm curious to know your opinion on this. I like to start here and work my way towards if I
Absolutely.
after a few drinks, after a couple, and you got to sober off somehow, right? Sometimes I may just walk on Broadway just to look at it. But would you say that's probably the right way to do the pop-up bars this season? Start at the Fairlane Hotel and then work your way down to Broadway.
I think that's an amazing point, Tony. And I think, to be honest with you, we talk a lot about that. What do you want to be within this city? Do you want to be a destination place? Do you want to be a restaurant or a pop-up? What the hope is you can be one of those things, which is the pre-night place or the post-night place or the dinner spot. So I think the key to that is to design your hotel to work with that. We couldn't agree more with you on that. People will go to a spot and have their drinks and do their thing and then head out where they want to go. Or vice versa. They go do something during the day and then they want to finish with dinner, right?
Or a drink here.
Absolutely. So we want to be the destination where whatever you're having that you want to do in that moment, we have a space for you. That is the perfect goal. And I really appreciate you mentioning that, because I think it is the future of Nashville.
Oh, absolutely.
It's how do you kind of flow with everything that's going on here in the city and have a space for anyone that happens to come by the hotel. It works for their plans for the night.
Let's test your knowledge on some Wizard of Oz questions. You up for that? Before we get on to a couple of drinks here.
I'll give it my best shot, yeah.
I only have 5 questions.
Okay.
Some of them are easy, some of them are a little tricky, but it's not too crazy, all right?
All right.
So we're going to keep it with the Wicked theme. All right, let's get going here. Let me play on my... Okay. I like to have my spooky music in the background while we do this. Okay, so, Garland.
Yes. Give it to me.
First question I got to ask is the Wicked Witch. Which side is the witch from? Is it the Wicked Witch of the East or the Wicked Witch of the West?
Oh my gosh, Tony.
I had the same.
You said they were easy.
That was the same response I had.
Oh, it's Glenda, the Wicked Witch. I think it's Wicked Witch of the West.
You got it.
Oh,
you got it. You got it. All right, good. You had to know that. All right, so question number 2. So in the movie The Wizard of Oz, there's a natural disaster that brings Dorothy into the Emerald City.
Okay.
What was that natural disaster?
That was a tornado.
That's right. And sadly, since we're here in Nashville, we kind of know about those.
Let's just move on to the next question.
Exactly. All right. So then, question number 3. Dorothy. Do you happen to know what Dorothy, the actress's name was?
I do.
What is it?
Judy Garland.
Hey, see?
You picked that question. All right, okay.
You like that?
I do.
That was pretty slick of me.
I like that one,
Okay.
Tony. That's good.
Now, 4th question before we get to my last question. Okay. In The Wizard of Oz, in Oz, who does Dorothy meet first when she's going down the yellow brick road?
Oh, that's good. I'm thinking the Scarecrow, maybe.
You're absolutely right. It's a Scarecrow. Man,
Wow.
you're killing it.
My kids are going to be impressed, man. That's awesome.
When was the last time you saw The Wizard of Oz? Or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, maybe even last season. 'Cause
Really?
We watch it. Yeah, I love that movie. It's an amazing movie with the ability to keep its timelessness. It's a great movie.
In a weird way, it kind of freaks me out. I think when we were growing... and
The flying monkeys. I don't think there's a kid that doesn't get freaked out by that, but that's part of the fun. Right?
Exactly. Now, okay, my last question, having to do with Oz, Wizard of Oz, and all that. There was a musician back in the day who was part of the Wizard of Oz lore.
Oh, wow.
Let's see if you remember this. I'll help you out a little bit more,
yeah.
okay? So that musician has one famous song for the Halloween season. Do you know what musician played in the Wizard of Oz-ish?
Oh, wow.
In the lore.
You may have finally stumped me, Tony.
It was a tough one.
Nothing's jumping out with me with musicians.
Okay, let me clarify. They made a song called Human Nature. I didn't want to make it too obvious.
No, I think you still got me on that one. I'm not.
What about a song called Thriller?
Oh, okay. Now you're getting into my era. Michael Jackson?
That's right. Michael Jackson was, oh my goodness, he was the Scarecrow, I believe.
Oh, yeah. He played in the, there was an adaptation that they made from Wizard of Oz, like another version. It was called The Wiz. And he was a Scarecrow in that.
That's
You're
right.
absolutely right. Fantastic, man.
See, you actually did amazing.
Oh, man.
Obviously, there is, and you know, that's the kind of crazy thing. Speaking about, and sorry, guys, I haven't been watching you guys at all. So, like I said, the Fairlane Hotel has the Oz theme. We're in the Emerald City. That's why it's green.
That's right.
So, I mean, that goes to my questions about what we can experience here at the bar. So what are some cool little things to do in the bar to feel like, have you seen people dress up in witches yet?
Oh, yeah. We've seen people come in their costumes. Like we mentioned before, it's amazing fun to come in here and take pictures. We love for everyone to come in to see what we've done, hopefully think it's amazing, and then get some great photographs for them, with them, and that they can take with them and post on social media, which is incredibly important to us here at the hotel. And we've got an incredible themed cocktail menu that we've done here.
I'm excited for that.
I've got some guys here, mixologists that are truly talented guys. If you're into the cocktail world, which I am, and I think a lot of Nashville is as well, we've got some amazing drinks here. So that's what we want everyone to do. Come check it out, have a great time, see what we've been able to do with the space, meet the staff and the bartenders, and try some of the cocktails.
If you had to take any character, and also, by the way, if you're going to the back patio, there's nothing but these awesome monkeys that are hanging around. It's really cool.
The flying monkeys.
The flying
we had to do
monkeys.
something with that. Yeah, it's really cool. So we have them surrounding the space,
Protecting the area.
And we thought that'd be a great thing to walk outside and see. So.
It's amazing. But what character would you think you are in The Wizard of Oz?
Oh.
And why?
Gotta be careful, right? Because the Tin Man didn't have a heart, right? So that's not what I want to be. So what? Maybe the lion and courage, right? So I think that's something that you could always lock into and want to be brave in your life and pursue your dreams and things like that. So I think I could go with the lion.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so I'm excited to see what you guys can, create, conduct in your cauldron over here.
Yeah.
And you ready to?
Absolutely.
Let's get on to it.